welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the day of Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John, our Big Bad editor. It is Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. It's definitely Wednesday. You guys just watched the video we posted Monday that we made Monday 2 days ago, and 3 days before that was Sunday, which was totally not the day that we recorded this show.
None of them.
None of them at all. And we are talking about what's happening right now over on TBS. Dynamite AEW coming at you live. We are talking...
Again, no volume because we don't want spoilers.
Exactly. We don't have the full card in front of us because it wasn't posted, but we do have a couple of big matches to think about tonight. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley versus Sammy Guevara, the winners of the semifinals in the Grand Slam tournament, go on to Grand Slam to wrestle for the vacant AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
And tonight we find out who it is.
Figure out who it is tonight. Happening right now live. Definitely not 3 days from when we recorded this, but the day we recorded it, which is totally today.
Which is
and not 3 days ago.
Which is Wednesday for you following at home.
That gang's never going to get old.
It's never going to get old.
Right, so, which match we want to talk about first, fellas? We want to talk about Moxley and Guevara or Jericho and Bryan?
Well, let's go with Jericho and Bryan.
All right, we've seen this match already. It just took place at the pay-per-view. Jericho and Bryan also currently have been engaged the last several months in a feud with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Had a couple of big fight matches, and now it's for a shot at the title. The vacant world title. Whoever wins this tournament is going to be the face of AEW, and it's going to have to be the guy that has to overcome all of the controversy surrounding CM Punk.
And then lose to CM Punk.
Maybe.
In Chicago, because that's where he'll come back. Because that seems to be the only place he wrestles, because it's down the street. Anyway, here's the deal. Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho is some people's dream match.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big fight feel for a big accolade. I mean, the richest prize in the game in AEW.
Yeah. Could you imagine having had this match back in 2006 when Bryan was still young and in his 20s, and Jericho was still young and in his late 30s?
He was a fresh-faced 43.
That's right.
It would have been great, and it could be huge now.
It's still, they had a tremendous match at All Out, the pay-per-view. They did a great job. So if you're the booker, who are you choosing? Who are you choosing from this match alone to go on in the semifinal? Are you choosing Jericho to go on, or are you choosing Bryan Danielson?
Well, here's the deal. We'll go back to something that I read as we were getting ready to do the live show on Sunday.
Which has totally happened 3 days ago.
Totally not today,
right.
and was last weekend. That Chris Jericho sent out a tweet that said that there is no such thing as a bad Bryan Danielson match.
Right.
That he'll go down as one of the best ever to do it.
Absolutely correct.
He was, what did he say, 1 in a million? Mm-hmm. Or something like that, which, let's be honest, he's 1 in a million.
Wrong. Yeah.
He's not wrong. I got to go from a booking standpoint and say Danielson.
I think so, too. I think, number one, we've seen Jericho as champ and we've seen Moxley as champ. Danielson's going to give it that fresh edge they were going to try to give it with Punk. He's also a guy you can put in any environment to, sort of steer the ship. He can wrestle with anybody and get a fucking classic match out of him. I think he's the obvious choice to beat Jericho, and I stand by it.
That's who I would pick. I think that him going either against Moxley or Guevara is kind of your marquee match.
Yeah, I agree.
To be my opinion. Max, what do you think? Are they going to go Danielson, or are we going to go...
Good old reliable Jericho?
Yeah.
Probably Danielson. That's all I got.
Good answer. All right, on the flip side of that, we have...
Well, hold on, Johnny. Who you going with, man?
Chris Jericho. Hey, first AEW World Champion. Was the reason they were able to get off the ground in the first place.
Probably the greatest professional
wrestler who's ever lived, especially right now. And if you need a safe player that's still going to be able to draw ratings, Jericho's that guy too.
He's also the guy, no matter how evil or how much of a heel he plays on TV,
you can flip him immediately.
Well, not just flip him immediately. The crowd still cheers him, even doing his heel shit, because in their minds it's just like, oh, it's Chris Jericho.
Yeah. You know what
I mean? Like, he screwed you? Well, that's a shame, but that's what Chris Jericho does.
It's like chanting "You suck" to Chris Angle.
Chris Angle?
I'm sorry.
Chris Angle. Name of the current
Exactly what I
angel.
meant to say.
You know what's really cool about this particular situation is there's really no way to predict it. It
No,
can
it can
go
go
one
either
of four ways,
Yeah.
and it's going to be really cool to see what happens tonight, right now, as we're watching. And the other match we got to talk about is Jon Moxley taking on Sammy Guevara for the other half of the tournament.
Okay. Like we said in Sunday's video, just totally not
Definitely
today,
Sundays.
that Sammy Guevara is a 3-time TNT champion. So it's not like that everyone in this thing is
Well, and he's also current AAA intergender tag team champion.
right. So what I'm saying is, like, he's got his name seems so out of what should be in this tournament.
Because he's not a
However,
former world heavyweight champion.
when you look at it, though, 3 times, he's the only person to hold that championship 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, he was a defending fighting champion all 3 times he's had the TNT title. The lineage up there, and then going against Moxley, though, man.
Yeah.
I'm
The thing is Moxley's sort of the face of AEW. And it's like, when he says he's the heart and soul of AEW, that's not an improper statement to make. He really is the heart and soul of AEW. So it's like, once again, do you go with a new, unproven, fresh face, or do you go with the reliable option, the one you know fans love, the one you know you can put in a world title situation? I mean, for fuck's sake, as soon as Punk got hurt, they called him up and he took the belt and held it. And then as soon as Punk fucking got hurt again, Moxley was like, well, fuck, I'll just stop doing whatever the fuck it is I had planned because the company needs a superstar right now. I think Moxley. I think Guevara's going to give him a good match, and I think Guevara's going to be a contender in the future. I don't think that period of time is...
This is the only time that I would ever say that a championship reign was a bad thing for somebody. But him winning the title again this soon after losing it to Punk as fast as he did, it's going to hurt him more than anything. Because it's always going to be he beat Chris Jericho or whoever.
And not CM Punk.
And not Punk, therefore
Yeah.
he still looks under Punk. You need to have Moxley fucked out of this, and then you need to revisit him and Punk down the road.
So your choice then would be to have Danielson and Guevara for the world title match at Grand Slam.
No, I would rather see Guevara lose, but I don't want to see Jon Moxley win the thing.
Oh, you don't want to see him win the belt.
No,
So you want to see Danielson and Moxley for the
I
title.
want to see Danielson
Okay.
and Moxley. Yeah.
That's the way I would frame it.
Because it only makes sense that way.
If you don't do it that way, you have Jericho and Guevara win, and then you run the show all the way up to the end, and then you have Guevara lay down for Jericho, and Jericho takes the belt with super pro wrestling cheap heat, or super sports entertainment cheap heat, because Guevara is still Jericho's flunky.
Yeah.
Like that, you could finger poke and doom it, and fans would shit all over it, but fans would also love it because they would hate it so much.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking, that it would be a lay down kind of thing.
Because the other option
Build it as they hate each other and they can't wait to get in the ring and prove
Right.
himself and this, that, and the other, and then him just lay down.
Because the other option is you have Moxley and Danielson go out there, who are both members of the Blackpool Combat Club. So what sense does that make? Or you already mix it up. It's Jericho and Danielson, or Jericho and Moxley. Or no, I'm sorry. It would be Danielson and Guevara.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. So okay, who's your number one pick to be the world champ again? Let's just.
Well, let's get our picks for these matches
Yeah.
first.
Max?
Matchless. Brian or
Guevara. Or no, Moxley or Guevara.
Moxley or Guevara. Sorry,
Moxley.
Moxley.
So, out of all of that, then who goes on to win the world title? Who right now in this dire situation do you put the AEW title on, knowing that there's controversy, knowing there's craziness, and it's got to be somebody to guide the ship? Danielson. God.
Reason I say that is because he's always been known as a locker room guy.
Yeah.
His championship reigns, he's proven that he can be a champion in the land of the giants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He never got a fair shake there. Tony Khan can give him the title reign that Vince McMahon couldn't.
Yeah.
And this early on in could really put AEW, his stamp on AEW's history
It's true.
from here forward. Because if Moxley's going to go away for a little bit, he's already dipped into vacation
And
time.
Jericho
to do
was
this.
supposed to go away too.
Jericho will be touring before long with Fozzy. Brian Danielson
I
is
think
your
Danielson's the
best
answer.
bet.
I think Danielson's the answer. I think Moxley's your close second, but I think Danielson is in fact the guy.
Max?
Big Bad John?
Same.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes our coverage of what's totally happening right now over at AEW if you're watching it. Hey, check out streamlabs.com/pro wrestling throwdown and access our merch store where you can find our limited edition Spiral Notebook. It's only going to be up there for 30 days. It's got the pro wrestling logo on it. Check it out. There's only going to be a limited release of them, and it's only up there for 30 days. Also, while you're checking out Streamlabs, you can check out facebook.com/pro wrestling throwdown. You can follow us on Twitter at pro wrestling td. You can send us an email at pro wrestling throwdown at gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at pro wrestling throwdown 1. And as always, from us to you, happy Wednesday. And
before we get into that, before we say our sign off, remember, this Sunday, we will be at 7:15.
Yes, good point.
This Sunday, 7:15 for the first of what we hope are very successful primetime spots.
Yeah. So that being said, tune in
Happy
Sunday
Wednesday.
at 7:15. Happy Wednesday, and keep it in the ring.
That's right. All the way in the ring.
All the way.